off, just starting from 1 and go down. Perfect. So we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Greg, would you mind offering that?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. All right. So with roll call, Tim Nickel here.
They'll call the roll.
Chairperson Castillo, Vice Chairperson Nickel,
Here.
Commissioner Clayton,
Here.
Commissioner Hargrove, Commissioner Price,
I'm here.
and we have a quorum.
Perfect. All right. So because the Commissioner Chair is not here, I'll be conducting this today. We're going to be starting with the presentations first. Okay. First on the agenda, Christina Clem. Would you actually be Commission Chair?
I'll nominate Tim Nickel for chairperson.
Okay,
Second it.
great. So then second will be presentations by the public.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I would nominate Greg Price as assistant.
Accepted.
I second that.
Okay.
Now we vote on it.
Now we'll get to vote on it.
Awesome. Good to go?
We're good to go.
Okay. 1B, okay. So presentations by the public on matters not on the agenda. Yes? Would you like to come up? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Christina Clem. I work for AARP, and I am the contact person for the Network of Age-Friendly Communities program that the City of West Sacramento has joined. It's a 5-year process, and I wanted to present to you, we have the findings. AARP funded a survey earlier, or actually at the end of last year, for 45-plus residents in the City of West Sacramento to gauge their perception of age-friendliness of the city. So I wanted to present those findings to you, introduce myself as a resource from AARP, and I look forward to working with you.
Wonderful. How did the city do?
The city did great on some things, and there's some things that there can be improvements on, as
Awesome.
always.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the pamphlet.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other presentations that are not on the agenda at the moment? These still read all these. Still read all these ones right here. Okay, perfect. So Ms. Charlotte Dorsey.
Yeah, no, but they'll give you them.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. I have been asked to deliver this statement from several senior citizens who live in West Sacramento and who are not able to come this evening to the meeting. In April of last year, the city combined the Parks and Community Service Commission with the Commission on Aging and renamed it Parks, Recreation, and Intergenerational Services Committee. Prior to renaming, the commission had changed its meeting time from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. There are concerns expressed by seniors regarding these two changes. Combining the two commissions appears to dilute the importance of issues facing senior citizens, which is contrary to all of the evidence and increasing senior population statistics that do not support this approach. Secondly, the change in meeting time almost eliminates participation or attendance by seniors because many of them can't drive or won't drive at night due to safety concerns, or they don't have family or friends that can drive them to the meeting. As West Sacramento works towards achieving the designation of age-friendly cities, it is important to understand what the words age and friendly mean in their broadest sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Next would be Mr. Andrew Strumfels.
I believe Mr. Strumfeld is going to speak on item 9.
Okay. Perfect. All right, so commission communications. Nothing?
We just got the,
So it looks like we have the Aging Alliance. Senior Resource Fair again this year. Do we verbalize these to?
I think we just got a bunch of pamphlets up here. Anything we need to discuss on them now? No? Okay.
Okay, perfect. So then, introduction to the new Director of Parks and Recreation Department, Miss Cindy Tuttle, if I pronounced that appropriately.
You did.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I'm going to speak from here because we have some microphone issues there, and I just do better standing. And Chair Nichols, members of the commission, my name is Cindy Tuttle. No relation to Marty Tuttle. I know that's the burning question on everyone's mind, but we are not related at all. In fact, we did an exhaustive search to make sure that we were not related at all. I have known Marty Tuttle for many, many years, but we are not related. I am the new Director of Parks and Recreation here at the City of West Sacramento, and it's a real honor and a privilege to be in this position. I think I know some of you, like Mr. Clayton, but for the other two of you, just a real brief history about myself. I've lived in West Sacramento for a very, very long time. I raised my daughter here, and yeah, that's me with the brown hair. 20 years ago, I served on the city council and was a former mayor here in West Sacramento. But then I went on to do administrative work and public administration, both public and private administration. I was a longtime employee for the Operating Engineers Local Union Number 3. I served as their political and public relations director for many years. I then went to work for the county of Yolo out of their county administrator's office and did intergovernmental relations, water, flood, the Cache Creek Area Plan, transportation, just a myriad of issues for Yolo County. And then this opportunity presented itself, and believe me, I did not walk, I ran to fill out my application to come to work for the city that I love, that I make my home, and to be able to give back once again on the other side of the dais. So I'm just thrilled to be here. So it's a little bit about me. But I really want to talk very briefly about the department and kind of what we have before us this coming year and some of the things that you might be seeing that we might be bringing to you. The first is that, as you know, we not only have a new director, but Andre Pitchley went on to become the director of the City of Tracy's Parks and Recreation Department. So huge hole that we needed to fill. In the interim, what we have done is Paul Reyes, who I think you all know, has agreed to step up and be staff to this commission. So I'm very grateful to him. He has a long history with the City of West Sacramento, as you know. Connie Leak will be taking care of the Arts Commission, and those were two primary functions that Andre was taking care of. This gave me an opportunity to kind of really look to see what the highest and best need would be for the department moving forward. And when we talk about the strategic objectives here in just a minute, you'll have a better understanding of why we decided that rather than fill the superintendent position that Andre was in, that we kind of created a new position that's called the Parks and Recreation Business Manager. This was just went out, published last week for this recruitment for this position. As you know, we have a fairly dated parks master plan here from 2003. There were some minor edits done in 2006, but you also know with the change in flood projects, it's kind of going to change the demographics, particularly in the southern half of the city, which then precipitates some real changes to that document. And so we're really looking at updating that document to better reflect the existing conditions that we're faced with around recreation and open space opportunities in the community. Which leads to the 2016 action agenda of the City Council, which I think you all have one of these, and 3 of the policy and management agendas are directly related to parks and recreation activities. Probably the most important is the very last item on this sheet, which is the Trails Initiative and Parks Master Plan update. And again, this is a council-directed document, this strategic action plan, and the council has directed that we aggressively seek funding to update our Parks Master Plan. As you all know, planning money is extremely difficult to obtain, so we're kind of taking different components of a Parks Master Plan in hopes of getting this funded. And the major component that we're really concentrating on is this Trails Initiative and doing a regional Trails Initiative that will identify connectivity throughout the region, particularly as it relates to linking us to the Delta, up to the Fremont Weir, over, to the Two Rivers Trail, up the American River Parkway in the watershed, down to Davis, because West Sacramento truly is the, urban gateway to the Delta. And so we think there's some opportunity to find some really unusual funding sources to do this regional connectivity trails initiative for multimodal intergenerational trail system. We actually had meetings today with both Caltrans about the Trails Initiative and the Delta Conservancy about the Trails Initiative. Obviously, two very different worlds, but both connected from the sense of this regional Trails Initiative, again, looking for funding. So that'll be a major focus of the department over the next 12 months, again, is seeking funding to get that started, and then actually implementing, getting consultants in place to actually start developing that plan. Obviously, this commission will play a huge role in the development of that plan moving forward. So you hopefully will be seeing, luckily if we get the money, you'll be seeing much more of that in the future. The other two items that are on the management agenda is, you'll see it here, is the Barnes events and programs. Part of the agreement with the barn was that the city would have 10 events that we would be able to program. So some decisions need to be made from a policy level about what those events will be. Gee, should we, hire the Mondavi Center to come in and make profit from that we give to parks programs? Gee, should we, have all the nonprofits in town, fill in an application and pick a lottery and give them the 10 days? Should we do city events? Should we do the farmer's market? So a lot of ideas about what we should use those events for. So that will be another item that will be coming to you for input and recommendation related to those policy decisions that will ultimately go to the city council. And then the last one is the public and open space cleanup and enforcement program. I'm sure you've all noticed, and I have to give Mr. Sam Cooney total credit for the adorable goats that have been munching away on our weed abatement at the Broderick boat ramp, and now they're out at the barge canal in very hard-to-reach areas, like levied areas where it's a lot more expensive to get equipment down there to get the weed abatement for fire prevention and ecological reasons. So that is part of this public and open space cleanup and enforcement program, which is really targeted as a service-first model for addressing homelessness in the city. In partnership with the County of Yolo, the police department and Yolo County go out and provide services to homeless individuals. And then the Parks Department is leading the effort of coming behind them and cleaning those sites, removing garbage, lifting up the trees, in some cases, taking goats in to munch down the grass. So those are the three big projects that we will be, oh, and I should mention for the public and open space, we did take an item to council on April 6th where they actually provided $25,000 between now and the end of the fiscal year to be able to continue those public and open space cleanup programs. So we're excited about that. And then we will be making an ask in the next fiscal year to be able to continue that program based on the statistics we're gathering now about the success of that program. So those are the three big initiatives that lie before us, and again, you'll all be very, very involved in those moving forward, so be looking for those items to be coming to you. And again, I'm just thrilled that Paul Reyes has agreed to step up to be staff to this commission. The business manager position is going to be focusing more on some of these planning efforts moving forward for the Parks and Recreation Department. They'll be doing grant writing, so more of those types of things that has been lacking once we lost our park planner. So this is kind of a hybrid position where that person can not only write grants and seek grants, but can also work to implement those projects once we do get funding. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Again, I'm thrilled to be here. I want to thank you for your service. I know that volunteerism is often a thankless job, and I really do appreciate your willingness to serve on this commission and give us your input about those things that are very important to all of us.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Any questions?
For me?
Not at this time.
Uh-oh. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next on the agenda, the Senior Resource Fair and Active Aging Programs update by Christine,
3.
oh, excuse me, by Miss Ciela Allen for the selected appointee for Commission of Aging and Adult Services.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak to you today. I am Sheila Allen. I am staff for the Commission on Aging and Adult Services for Yolo County. And if I might, I'm going to go slightly off that topic for a moment to a very related issue. There are many exciting things going on for older adults in Yolo County right now. The Commission on Aging is one of the leadership groups, and that will be the ask at the end of my few minutes here. But before I start then, did you get both of the handouts that I brought? There's 2 of these, perfect. So I'm going to quickly talk about the first one that has the beautiful trees and sunset of the, looking to the west. It's regarding the YOLO Healthy Aging Alliance. This is a separate nonprofit that was started by the Yolo County Commission on Aging in 2010, and it was started because of the concern of the simultaneous decrease in funding for programs at the same time that we saw the beginning of the baby boomers that might need to have more services. So it was decided after this day-long summit to start a separate nonprofit that was to have, our mission is 3 areas, and those are what are listed before you. So we do advocacy, we identify what are gaps in services, and then we bring to the table the people or the organizations that need to address that. So we provide public testimony at cities, counties, the state, federal. And we also provide the identification of what are gaps in services and bring the people together. So that's our advocacy arm. We also have a collaboration committee, and I feel like that's our most successful organization. When we started, we had 10 organizations that we identified that provided services to older adults in Yolo County, and now we have 72. So there are 72 organizations that will provide services to older adults in California, everything from your local senior centers to the California phones where you can get the phones with the big numbers on them, or the Meals on Wheels. There's just lots of them, private home care agencies. We bring them together once every other month and make sure that all the organizations know about the other organizations so that they can easily do cross referrals to each other. And then once a year, we have what we call our cross-training, and we bring together all of the line staff along with the leadership so that they do a presentation on here are the services they provide and here's how you best do the referral. So it's really weaved together the older adult services in Yolo County so that if you go to one of the organizations and that organization cannot provide the service for you or your family, they know about the depth and breadth of the other one so that they can be connected. And then the third part of our mission is education, and we do public presentations on issues of concern. So some examples that we had is that we had a presentation on changes that were coming to Medi-Cal. We plan this year to have a presentation on dementia care and early identification. We've also had presentations on the people who are running for office. We had them come and learn about older adult services and then hear from them what their issues are. So collaboration, advocacy, and education. And we'd love to have more input and participation from West Sacramento area. We have your superstar, Charlotte Dorsey back there. She's on a number of our committees providing input, but we'd really like to have more participation from West Sacramento. I happen to be the executive director for that. That's one of my hats. So I wanted to make sure that your commission, as the Parks and Recreation and Intergenerational Services, knows about YOLO Healthy Aging Alliance. And then I have cards that I will leave so if you have any questions on that, I can provide information for that. So that's one hat. Now I'm going to put my other hat on. I am the staff for the Yolo County Commission on Aging. The Commission on Aging has been around for a very long time, probably 25 years. And what their goal is that they are advisory to the Board of Supervisors. And it's not just the commission on for older adults, but it's also adult services. And they identify gaps in services and look at the budget and spending and services that are needed for the people of Yolo County, and then not only provide the input to the Board of Supervisors, but to the public also. And now I'm talking about the other sheet of paper that says Commission on Aging and Adult Services. It does has very broad representation, so we have a representative from each of the supervisory districts, and then we have some at-large members, and then each of the commissions on aging from the different cities have a representative. So we used to have a representative from West Sacramento, but when you came together into this more broad commission, that person was no longer on your commission, and so they were removed from our list. And I don't know if you have the color copy, but we have the red vacant at the bottom, and it's my goal as staff to this to make sure that all parts of Yolo County have full participation and a voice at the table for this Commission on Aging. So the way that the bylaws are written for the Commission on Aging, the Board of Supervisors nominates the top parts, and then for each of the commissions within the city jurisdictions, it is the responsibility of the local commission to identify someone. It can be one of two ways. Either it could be one of your commission members. That's the way some of them do it some of the time. But if you are already stretched too thin or perhaps don't have the interest in this particular area, it does not need to be one of your commissioners. It can be any person who lives within West Sacramento that you identify and officially appoint. The appointment then goes to the Board of Supervisors just for their information, but it is your vote of this commission, and I see that you have on your agenda tonight that it is a selection of an appointee for Commission on Aging, so that is great, because that sounds very action-oriented to me. So even tonight, if there is somebody that would be interested in being the official representative, we would very happily take your name and let you know about when the next meeting is, which I have the meeting schedule right here. The Commission on Aging meets every other month. Generally, it's the fourth Wednesday of the month, but because of some intervening factors, we won't be having it this April. We're going to be having it the next week. The truth be told, it's my birthday and my mom's visiting me. Very important. And our chair, the chair of the commission is Supervisor Jim Provenza. He's also out of town. So we've bumped that one to May 4th. But generally speaking, it's every other month, the fourth Wednesday of the month. And some of the projects that the Commission on Aging is currently working on, just so you can get a better idea of some of the current scope, we work very closely with the Agency on Aging Area 4. Do you know what that is, or should I give you the really quick rundown of what that is? Yes? You know? I'll just tell you, okay? There are federal funds that come from the Older Americans Act that come to the state of California, and then every state in the United States is divided into what they call different areas. It so happens that Yolo County is part of what Area 4, just if you ever hear people talk about Area 4, and that includes Sacramento and surrounding counties. There are 7 counties in Area 4. There's a governing board and an advisory board. They get millions of dollars from the federal government to Area 4, and then a decision needs to be made about how to spend those funds. So there's what's called an area plan that's developed every 3 years. We are in the process right now of identifying what are the gaps in services, what things can the funding be spent for, and what will we use it for. So for an example, some of the things that are currently paid for in Yolo County with the federal funds are the Meals on Wheels program. Most people have heard of Meals on Wheels. You also have a congregate meal program that is at your community center. There is legal services for older adults, information and assistance, so you can call Senior Link and they have the list of all the different services. There can be a home modification program to help build ramps. So there's a listing of different kinds of services that can happen. So there's the 7 counties, and each of the 7 counties has a local work group. So we happened to meet today, so I was just laughing with my friends in the back because we spent a good portion of earlier today together, because we are looking at the data and existing surveys to see what are the gaps in services and what of this chunk of money are we going to be spending on services for older adults. So the Commission on Aging are the official representatives for Yolo County to make the decisions about how that funding is going to be spent. Another thing that they are working on is that we are very pleased that AARP, the representative that was here earlier, is working on age-friendly network of, that network of age-friendly communities. And we had a discussion today that right now, it's West Sacramento that's working on it. So kudos to you for stepping forward and doing the survey and making the steps to make that happen. But we would like the whole county to go through the survey process and to be designated as age-friendly. So that's another thing that the Commission on Aging will be working on. And lastly, the other current thing that the Commission on Aging is working on is that we are creating a senior report card for each of the jurisdictions and the county as a whole to utilize the data that we've already been working with to make these decisions so that you can understand how many older adults are there, how many are low income, how many are homeless, how many that don't have our English as a second language. So we're going to have a report card for each of the areas that we'll probably have finished and present to the Board of Supervisors in the fall. So that's kind of our scope of work right now, but it's really driven by the people in the room. So if there's something else that people would be interested in, we'd be very happy to entertain that. It's a great group that is very proactive and I think is doing a really good job of not duplicating other efforts by bringing in AARP and bringing the county in and bringing nonprofits in. We're really all working in the same direction to identify what are the services that are needed and to address them. So I will then put it back into your court to see if you are either have someone who is be interested now, or if none of the three of you, or maybe somebody didn't show up tonight, you could appoint them. That's what happens when you don't come.
Got a question. You
Oh,
said the
absolutely.
next meeting will be the fourth Wednesday in May?
No, generally, it's the fourth Wednesday of the month, so
I
we
know.
are due to have it
You said
in.
it wasn't going to be in April.
It was due in April, but the chair and the staff are not available that day, so we bumped it 1 week. So technically, the next meeting will be May 4th.
Okay.
So it's unusual to have it the first Wednesday of the month. Usually, it's the fourth Wednesday every other month.
Yeah, like I said, I was interested,
Yeah.
but the fourth, I will not be here, so that doesn't help me on that one.
Okay, well, maybe not but if you are interested, I'd be very happy to meet with you personally to kind of give you some more of the paperwork and a little bit of the background, and would very happily catch you up.
I'm sure they can handle missing, if you miss one meeting.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering, because it said fourth Wednesday, then she said the fourth. I
Right, so
wanted to
just
make
that
sure
one
that I
time. So
understood.
that I have, and if you, here's the list of the rest of them for the year, if you would like, is it okay if I bring it up to you?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Some people are picky about coming to
Great,
You can't cross this line right
great.
I was on the school board in Davis, so you know that Davis is.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Allen. I think we found,
So not to be presumptive, but would you like your name to be placed? Because then since I'm.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Okay, so then I am the staff for it. So what I will need then is either from your chair or from your staff, just a letter to Yolo County saying Daniel Clayton will be our representative, and then it's a done deal, and
Okay.
welcome
deal.
to the party.
I vote yes.
all right, second
Okay,
that.
thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions about Yolo Healthy Aging Alliance, I'm going to leave my cards over here, and I'd be happy to talk
Perfect.
to you about that also.
Thank you so much. All right, next on the list, we
You
have,
guys don't mind, do you?
No,
Oh,
it's-
no.
you're perfect.
Because I have the days off, so.
Yeah.
no, I appreciate that, yeah, thank you. Fourth on the list, Miss Christine Prater with the Senior Resource Fair and Active Aging Programs Update.
Hi, I'm Christine Prater. I work across the street at the community center, and I provide for our community active aging, recreational type programming, adaptive recreation programming, Special Olympics type sports, and I work the customer service. So just so you're familiar with who I am, I've worked for the city for many, many years, and I'm very pleased to be here to present to you. I do run active aging programs, and I know on the presentation, on your agenda, it does say that I was presenting both, but we really wanted to focus in on a very important event coming up called the Senior Resource Fair. But if you have questions about active aging, I can answer those as well. So the Senior Resource Fair really came about as a collaboration between BB Can, Bright Broderick, Community Action Network, and the City of West Sacramento Parks and Recreation working together to provide seniors with resources and, to provide seniors with needed information. And a big part of this happening is due to our chair, Charlotte Dorsey, who is in the room. And she deferred to me to present, but usually I drag her up here with me. So this time, I'm just going to say that it's a very important day. This year's, it's been going on for several years now. It's going to be, it's usually likely the first Friday in May, and this year it falls on Friday, May 6th. We have approximately 40 diverse organizations that we will be that are normally on hand the day of our resource fair. So, for example, last year we had 211 YOLO, AARP, Alzheimer's Association, Better Business Bureau, YOLO County DA, RSVP of YOLO County, and several other organizations on hand for seniors, and they come out to our community center day of, and they we provide them with valuable resources to enhance their daily living and activities. So what we ask of you is if you'd love to come, we would love for you to come by and see us that day. If you have a senior, if you know a senior, we all do, or if you want to spread the word, we can get you the information to get that to people you know. The fair itself is from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and on that day, we do provide a survey to the seniors to kind of get feedback on what they'd like to see in the future, and we use that survey as a raffle ticket. So we do get a lot of surveys back, so we get some valuable information back from the seniors. We provide them with what they need. They provide us with some things we need. Some of the things that we do have on hand is a Spanish and a Russian translator. We do provide a city-subsidized shuttle to and from the activity for West Sacramento senior residents, which is a partnership with the, new name of the organization, just Shores of Hope. They just changed their name. So Shores of Hope does have an accessible shuttle that will be driven to and from the activities that day. We will have snacks and beverages on hand, and of course raffle prizes, because how fun would that be if we had an activity with no raffle prizes? It brings a lot of joy to their lives to get. We also have a door gift for each person that comes in. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them about the Senior Resource Fair. I wanted to give Charlotte a big shout out for all the help she's been doing these past few years. And also if you have any questions about senior programs in general, I could take them.
Not at the moment.
I know him.
Great. I don't believe we have any questions at the particular moment.
Okay.
But thank you so much for the information.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, so next on the list, we have the Parks Project Status Update by Sam Cooney.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Sam Cooney, Superintendent of Parks and Grounds for the city. Not to disappoint, we haven't been sitting on our hands, so we've got quite a few projects that we've completed, some that are in process, and then some that are on the horizon. So I'd like to give you an update on everything that has occurred and is occurring and will occur. To start things out, after the 4-year drought the state has experienced, we started a drought conversion program in the Parks Department. We went to the Budget Committee and asked for funds to start converting non-essential turf areas to more drought-tolerant irrigation and landscapes. They saw the need for it, funded it. We finished our first program. It was 12,000 square feet of turf in the front of the Westfield School Park joint use site. We eliminated 12,000 square feet of turf, put in water-efficient irrigation, planted 105 ground-cover roses and 350 emerald carpet manzanitas. We anticipate saving thousands and thousands of gallons of water monthly throughout the summer on this program. We also have a second one that's due to come to fruition here this spring. We're converting 8,000 square feet of non-essential turf on the street frontage of Elkhorn Park. We've got some very large, mature sycamore trees there, and we're just going to remove the turf, cap the irrigation off, and put decomposed granite there. The trees make the turf struggle anyway, so this way we have a good stable surface. This spring, we completed some work on our Memorial Park ball fields with the assistance of the West Sacramento Little League. We put in a new fence, removed some aged poplars that were diseased and dying. A new infield watering system was installed to keep the dust down for the residents around the park, and then new infield turf. Everything went swimmingly. The kids are out there just tearing it up as we speak. So that was a really good project. We'd like to announce the installation of our second Little Free Library in the city. If you're not familiar with it, they're small. Currently, they're using newspaper stands, but what happens is you place it in a park, the neighborhood group stocks it with children's books, and then they can borrow and return at will. So far, we have one that was installed at Pheasant Hollow Park. We have one at the Main Drain Garden, and then I just got a call from a resident who's interested in creating and installing another one. So we're in the process of installing our third Little Free Library. They're very popular, and to my surprise, we haven't had any problems with it at all. It's just a real good program. There's approximately 26,000 of them worldwide. So it's a really growing program, and I see a lot of good in it. We had a big bark party out at Sam Combs Dog Park a few weekends ago, and included a dog agility demonstrations. Some vendors were out there. Yolo County was very successful in licensing a large number of dogs. They had not a waiver, but a program where they waived some fees to assist people in getting their animals licensed and chipped. So that was a real popular event. While we're on the subject, there's a residents group that asked if they could build a dog agility feature. It looks like a tunnel with a set of ramps on either side. I ran it through our risk managers, and they said they thought it would be fine. It's scheduled to be installed this Saturday. So in the middle of the Sam Combs Dog Park, they'll have an agility feature where the dogs get a little more to do than just run around on a flat surface. Summerfield, a very popular project. Summerfield Park was on our list of ADA renovations. So we funded a new play structure, restroom improvements, a concrete ramp to the lower field viewing area, because cricket and soccer are very popular in that. We put some dog park improvements and ADA landings on both of the dog parks, some new fencing around the small dog park, much more secure, brand new sidewalk at the street, and just overall, a few weeks ago or a week ago, we had an opening. Hundreds of kids showed up with their parents. We had West Sac Mofo showed up with some food trucks, bounce houses, kites. It was just a real fun event to see happen. Then this park also joins Circle, Friendly La Homes, and Touchstone as the parks that we've been working on to make sure that we have complete ADA accessibility in these parks. Okay, as our new director mentioned, the goats and the open space. Currently, we're contracted with Blue Tent Farms out of Red Bluff to do vegetation management on 16 acres in the city. It's a pilot program. So far, it's been very successful. It's been well received by the public, and we anticipate expanding that program next year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile a list of sites, get acreage counts, and then they're a very popular service. We were very fortunate to get Tim and his goats out here for the 3-week period that we did. Usually they're booked out. So next year we'll be on the front of the list. We should be able to do quite a bit more with them. Then the Brisbane Lakes play structure. I'm happy to say The replacement broke ground today. We're 3 weeks behind. The contractor tells me he ran into some complications finishing his last job and led to the delay. But we are on schedule. We're looking at about 6 weeks out. We're looking at a tentative opening at the end of May. I'll keep you posted on that. Relative to that, as the splash park operation, we're telling everyone right now, the way the water board is talking, it looks like they're going to relax some of the restrictions, and we're going to be allowed to reopen the Bridgeway Lake Spray Ground on a limited hours basis this year. So keep your fingers crossed and knock on wood. Maybe we'll get a little more rain Thursday. It'll help that cause. Joey Lopes Park, if you've been by it, it's come a long way. They're putting a lot of plant material in the ground. Most of the hardscape's done, and I'm told that that park should open June 24th. So prepare yourselves for that date. It should be quite a celebration. It's a nice park, and I know a lot of people in the area are really looking forward to it. Then Bright Park Phase 2, the continuation of the Kaboom Disney build, is in 80% design, which is great. We have a shade structure, picnic area, restrooms, parking lot, and sport courts designed into that phase. Because there's so much involved in the shade structure and the restrooms, and then we have to go through the state architect because it's a school site. It takes a little bit of while, but we're getting there, and it's funded to take place. Hopefully, we'll start it this fall. The Heritage Oaks Park, over on Village Parkway and Lake Washington, there's a 10-acre site, I believe, that the city has been given possession of. The developer was initially required to put in sidewalk improvements. That sidewalk improvement, because we don't know the eventual design of the park, we told him to waive that, and it sounds to me like they're going to take that money that was generated by that waiver to begin design of the park. And so you'll be heavily involved in that, but it will be coming online soon. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, you're talking about Elkhorn Park?
Yes.
You're going to put some granite rock in there?
No, decomposed granite. So it's crumbled granite crumbs that
Okay.
is
okay.
compacted
I was
almost
just
to
wondering,
a-
I thought
concrete.
I heard rock, and I was going to say, why
Oh.
not the chips rather than rock? Because I think the rock could end up on the street more than
Yeah.
staying in the
No,
park.
it's more like, it's a compacted surface.
Okay, more or less like at the Bright Park, the senior area over there, where you guys got the boxes up with that,
Yes,
something of that nature, okay.
exactly. Okay? Sounds
good.
It's a lot to digest. I appreciate your attention. And,
The park over off of Evergreen looks awesome.
does it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks really nice.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
to be delayed for a little bit, but then
Yes.
things are picking back up a little bit.
Yeah, we had a little difficulty. It's got a number of easements running through it, and then there was some difficulty getting the telephone poles are all gone, and power poles are all gone. So once those got removed, then it picked up steam, and it should be completed, so.
Nice. Are
Yeah.
you guys gonna have like patrol for is it gonna be assumed that there's gonna be a lot of evening individuals there with the location of the park?
Yes, we've been having meetings on how to mitigate improper use of the park. And we have some really good ideas, and I think we're going to be successful. We're going to, in fact, Joey Lope's daughter is been calling me, and she's very adamant about us organizing the neighborhood in order to make it a safe, friendly, playable area.
It's awesome. It's great.
Okay? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda, we have a community center, the 5-year birthday video presentation by Connie Leak, the recreation manager.
The new Connie.
Hi, I'm here in lieu of Connie Leak. a day at the community center. I could not sit here and tell you everything that we do in one day at the community center because it would take a very long time. So in front of you, you have a beautiful cup that commemorates what's going on today. I mean, what we're talking about today. It is a commemorative cup that is a symbol of our last 5 years across the street. That beautiful building that we use on a daily basis to create community and give back to the community. We run classes, we run programs, we have partnerships. Our participants grow and come together and just live there. It's so because it would be too hard for me to sit here and explain it to you, we've actually made a wonderful video presentation of our 5 years at the community center, which encompasses in a few minutes what I would have trouble telling you up here. And it's going to show you all the magic that happens on a daily basis over at the community center. I don't know if you're familiar with the programming over there, but we invite you any day to stop by and see that magic and speak to anyone that's visited us. So it's kind of contagious, and if you go there, you're going to want to come back. So in a nutshell, Dan's going to show you our beautiful video.
Hi, I'm Connie Leak, Recreation Manager. On behalf of the City of West Sacramento Department of Parks and Recreation and the Community Center team, I'd like to thank you for being a part of the Community Center these first 5 years. And we look forward to all the great years ahead. Thank you.
Most important thing is all the wonderful people I've met here through the classes. Just, it's just great. This line dance class is so diverse, and they're all so funny, and we range from, we're all seniors, of course, but we range from, I'd say probably 55 to, one of the gals in the class is 98, which someone else might have said. But that's the most important thing, I think, that you meet such fantastic people, so friendly. And the staff, I mean, they're really friendly.
I love the music, and of course I like the staff, and I enjoy the whole class. And all the ladies here will be friends for years, so it's a good social meeting, you know, and that's what they recommend seniors. We need to be socially active, and oh, definitely, I enjoy that. The Tai Chi class is a lot slower than this, but according to our instructor, it gives us strength to keep us from falling, gives us good, a lot of energy, and so it's a totally different exercise, but no question about it, it's good for us.
Okay, first I started off taking the knitting class, and I've always wanted to knit, and I did a little crocheting, but then I found that the loom knitting is so much easier, and I've made a couple hats that we donate at Christmas time for the homeless and for people that has radiation treatments. And then I started the card class, and I really enjoy the card class. And this has benefited me because I retired 3 years ago from the University of California, Davis. And this gives me something to look forward to at least twice a week. And the rest of the time, I do go and use the rec center here in West Sacramento, which is an excellent program.
Well, that West Sacramento has had a historical society for many years, committed and dedicated to the preservation of the very vibrant and colorful history of West Sacramento, and then educating particularly the new residents to town, who very often aren't even from the area, educating them to the history of West Sacramento. Here, thanks to the city and their cooperation, Tom Lewis is actually one of our board members. He's the past president. He's responsible for the gallery around us here, and he's built everything. He's put everything together. We change out the exhibits every 3 or 4 months. Currently, the exhibit in here now that we change is to the West Sacramento Trail Riders Association and the impact of equestrians on the history of West Sacramento. And then next week, he's going to start building one on the farmers' rice and the contribution that the rice growers have made to the community. We've had exhibits on the river cats and the history here in West Sac. So it's here in the community center. As the president of the society, we have a board of directors. It's a 501c3. Our board of directors is elected by our membership. So we have monthly meetings, a newsletter, fundraisers. You could tell we try to have exhibits, particularly here in the community center and the Black Box Theater, things that promote the history of the community and expand the community's knowledge and understanding of the history. Every day that goes by, we lose a little more history, and our job is to try to not lose it and keep it together for everybody.
This is my favorite place that I've worked so far with children, and I think it is because of it being a community center that it is here for everybody, and the support is everywhere, whether it's the parents or administration, the teachers. We're like a family ourselves. They really like playing outside, and they really like the interesting books that I seem to bring in from the library. I can bring them in on lizards, planets, dinosaurs, and we'll have a whole table full of books. I love working here. I love the support of the city as well for working at the community center and the preschool. It's unlike any place I've ever worked.
Most important to Oregon, and the Zumba class makes it stronger, and it also, the people that are here make it stronger.
What I enjoy are the people, the socialization with everyone. We have friends from India, Japan,
That's right.
Guatemala.
Yep.
But most of all, I think the socialization with other people.
I am the oldest here, so, you know, it's hard. I'm 81 and a cancer survivor.
Hey,
And I've been coming from the beginning. I love it here, met a lot of my friends. It's a cardio. And I'm actually have got a back and a back leg, and there's no excuses not to come here. There's no excuses.
Zumba goals for
Exercise
everybody.
in a fun style.
I've only been doing Zumba for about 4 months.
But he's excellent. He's good. He's excellent, yeah. We love the male. Yes, and he wears
And he wears his Zumba skirt and fly.
They threaten me.
That's a real man.
They threaten me.
Yes.
They know where I live.
Can we make him wear the skirt?
He loves it.
Yeah. We all enjoy it, and we're better for being here, so I think that's
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you. That is, in a nutshell, what we do and what we've done for the past 5 years. And give us a day and we can make you leave with a smile. So do you have any questions? I know someone up here who's done Zumba with me before. I'm not naming names. I'm one of the teachers.
And I enjoyed it too.
I can't believe that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, isn't that, it just, time flew, but we've done so much, and we've touched so many lives. If you, just by watching the video and hearing what the seniors and their feedback, it's touching. I tear up when I see and hear what they say, because we contribute to that. So making a difference in people's lives it's our specialty. Thank you for
so
giving
much.
us the opportunity to do that.
And thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we'll have a presentation and commission invitation to Arbor Day celebration from Deanna Kirtley.
Deanna.
Oh, Deanna, excuse me.
That's okay. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Dina Kirtley, your Urban Forest Manager for the City of West Sacramento. And I think this is the first time I've attended this commission. So many of you may or may not, I know Greg, I think Daniel, you're pretty familiar with what I do for the city. I not only oversee the care of the urban forest, but our landscape and lighting districts, the landscaping, Bridgeway Lakes, a little bit of everything. It's really interesting, all of the things I've learned since I started here at the city in 2004. But the reason I'm here tonight is to invite you all to our Arbor Day celebration on April 30th. We're going to do this celebration at the recently renovated Summerfield Park down off of Linden. And I'm hoping that we'll celebrate not only the trees throughout the country, but the 10,000 trees that we've planted since 2004 in the city of West Sacramento. We're going to have informational tables. We're going to receive our proclamation that the mayor has signed. CAL FIRE will be presenting our 10th Tree City USA celebration, and it's hard to believe that it's been 11 years. So I'm hoping that each of you will attend, and that one of you will volunteer to read our proclamation from the mayor, which is part of our agenda. I think each of you received our Arbor Day program that we're going to be following that day. So think about it and let me know. You know where to find me, right? If anybody's interested or available on the 30th, it's a Saturday from 9 to 10:30. We'll be planting a few trees also.
Do we get to take some trees home?
Well, I could arrange that.
I am unavailable that day.
I'll be
Are you?
available that weekend.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I have it on my phone.
Will you let me know now who would like to participate, or you can just let me know, okay?
I
Looks
can
like
participate.
Tim, great.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you there.
All right, next we have approval of minutes for the October 6th, 2015 regular meeting and the minutes for the December 1st, 2015 workshop.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for both.
Second it.
Great. Minutes
All approved?
approved.
No, you got to vote on it.
Oh,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Learning something tonight. Next will be the consideration of a public-private partnership between the City of West Sacramento and the Assemble Sacramento to develop a trail rest stop on the Clarksburg Branch Line Trail. Cindy Tuttle with the Director of Parks and Recreation.
Hi, good evening again, Chair, members of the Commission. Again, I am Cindy Tuttle, the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of West Sacramento. The item before you is to seek your direction regarding a partnership between Assemble Sacramento and the City of West Sacramento for the development of a rest stop along the Clarksburg Branch Line Trail. Assemble Sacramento is a civic-minded group of individuals who are represented here tonight by Andrew Stromfels, who you'll hear from in just a minute, who would like to raise funds for public amenities throughout West Sacramento. Rest stop amenities along trails is contemplated in the city's existing Parks Master Plan. And the conceptual plan would offer pedestrian, cycling, and horse hydration stations, a cycling repair area, eating tables, and other rest stop type of amenities. The proposed location is between the Nugget and Target stores along the Clarksburg Branch Line Trail. And we have also had discussions with the Center for Land-Based Learning, who would augment the trail rest stop with an urban farm and potentially shallow-rooted trees, because, you know, there is the interceptor line that runs there, so we are limited as to the vegetation that we can plant there. But some type of an urban farm where they could actually, during productive season, be able to sell those products to people that are coming to the rest stop. So kind of doing a multi-purpose, dual-purpose type of facility there. The Clarksburg Branch Line Trail Rest Stop would be the initial pilot project, and if this is successful, we would look at partnering for other civic amenities throughout the community. In addition to raising funds, Assemble Sacramento would provide volunteers for build days of the proposed amenities. And I'm happy to answer any questions, and again, we're seeking your input and direction, and I do believe that Andrew was going to say a few words at your pleasure. So I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you want to hear from Andrew, and then we can take your comments.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Good evening, Commissioners, and thank you for allowing me an opportunity to speak tonight. And I just wanted to start by thanking city staff, particularly Ms. Tuttle, Mr. Doherty, and Mr. Cooney for all their work leading up to today. The staff report that you all have does a great job of laying out kind of the goals of what we're trying to accomplish. So I would just thank you for the consideration this evening, and be happy to answer any questions you have about both the individual project and the broader concept of what we're trying to achieve. Thank you.
Thanks.
So again, we're seeking your direction, comments, questions, concerns. This item is scheduled to go to the City Council for consideration on April 20th.
I think it's great. Reading through the report, it seems like everything is kind of handled as far as like how it's going to get put together, where it's going to go, what amenities are going to be there, what the access is going to be, what the long-term maintenance plan is. So those are the concerns that I have when I heard about this, but seeing how it's all put together, it's kind of no-brainer to me to move forward with it. As far as like our comments, or my comments on it, you know, I use that trail all the time. I see other people using it. You know, the bigger concern is getting that put in there to get more people to use the trail to sort of provide the groundswell to get the trail extended. Because right now you go out there, it's just kind of, it's a trail, but it doesn't do anything. But like, you know, you go on the American River Trail, there's, you know, restrooms, drinking fountains, bike repair stations, those kind of things. The equestrian activities, or not activities, but you know, where you can put the horses while you're taking your rest area, that's all thought out. And I think that's great that it's going to be, to get that right there at that location, as like sort of where the trail is now, that's sort of the central point. And everything kind of feeds north and south from there, and all the extensions would go south and north, so it's kind of like a great spot a meeting spot, an assembly area, all that stuff's kind of thought out. So I appreciate the detail that you guys provided us here.
Thank you.
So is that you said it's going to go down to Target, so that's the backside of Target?
Well, it's between Lake Washington and Linden Road along the Clarksburg Branch Line Trail, which is basically between where the Nugget Shopping Center is and the Target store. It's behind those two, between
the railroad tracks and that, or on the other side of the railroad tracks?
No, it would be on this side of the trail. So it would be, so you currently have the paved path that's in there. So you have the Catholic school.
So otherwise, that's the one where they have the blinking lights on the street?
Yes, on either end.
Okay.
Yes, blinking lights on either end, that's correct. And it would be that strip between the parking lot of the Nugget and Target and the trail, the paved trail itself, that area of land there.
Okay, which, isn't there a senior living place that's going to be going in, down that area later on the backside of the firehouse?
That's going to be like right here, so it would be this spot.
Okay, it's a little bit further down.
Yeah,
Correct. This is actually immediately adjacent to the paved trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, probably is the best place to try to get started, to get the people to start using that, which
Right.
would be nice.
I mean, because
On the comment I have right now.
the city, as you know, owns the Clarksburg Branch Line Trail all the way to Clarksburg. And one of the objectives and why we're doing the Regional Trails Initiative is exactly as you said, Commissioner Price, is to hopefully be able to extend that trail all the way into Clarksburg for cycling, which would be, and active recreation. Yeah.
I use it now for cycling.
Pardon?
It's gravel, but it works.
Well, yeah, if you have the right kind of bike. Exactly right.
So you just wanted to use the number one alternative, it says here, hear the staff report and provide comments on the proposed partnership between the city and Assembly of
That's what we're doing.
Sacramento. So
I think we did that.
just go further on that.
Great. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. All right, next will be consideration of Resolution 16-01, setting the time and date for the 2016 regular meetings of the Park and Recreation and Intergenerational Services Committee. Ms. Tuttle as well. Comment on the municipal code section 2.20.
Do we have a calendar, Paul? Or Dan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
On our deal in the back,
Sorry.
where it says February, April, June, August.
So we're still looking at the first Tuesday?
Yes.
Perfect. That works for me.
Sounds good for me.
Yeah, it looks like the ones they look, would continue to be like June, August, October, December, 6 PM, which is the first Tuesday for those months.
Perfect.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so then,
Lost my picture.
after this,
Now you're, item 11.
item 11K, commission calendar, good.
Well,
Need
the
to vote on
other
that?
thing was okay, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everybody, okay.
Yeah. Future item requests?
Anybody have any future item requests?
No.
Yeah,
Dan
there
does.
was a little comment at the beginning. I think it had something to do with how the two commissions got put together. And I guess see if we could maybe talk to the seniors and see if we could maybe help them, maybe get some information to them or something.
Maybe have
And bring
one,
that to the commission so that we could actually figure something out to make them feel more like they're part of
Yeah.
our commission.
kind of like a spokesperson for.
Something of that, or maybe a couple of us. We can't have three of us there, but maybe two of us could go there and get some input so that they feel good about what we're doing or what we can do for them.
Commissioner Clayton, I can lead that and meet with the active aging group and get their concerns and some ideas, and then bring it to commissions in June.
Okay, or ask them to see what they might please them, you know, what we could do to help them out more.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thanks, Paul.
That was the only thing that I had.
Anything else?
Nope. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second it.
Second, meeting adjourned.
All in
Right.
favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Man, in 10 years, I'm gonna be awesome at this.
Yeah, you get
Don't
one
worry.
year.
Thank you.